This is a game by Grant Howitt, who is the kind of the sort of, I don't know, he's the one who runs, who makes one-page RPGs that we know of. This is available free on his website, which is Rowan Rook and Deckard, which is the way you can also pay for games. I interviewed Grant for the Lockdown interview series, and you can find that on all good and evil podcast providers. We've got Adam back. I'm going to unmute him now. Can he be trusted?
No.
No, he can't.
My foot's stuck. My foot's stuck.
Okay, I will ask no further questions, and then you can't disappoint me with your answers, Adam.
I'm done. I'm fine.
We were going to return to our serious game of D20 Future, in which our heroes play superheroes, the superhero adventure. But Adam can't make it, so we're not. We're going to play Sexy Battle Wizards instead. But Adam can make it, so he's going to be one of the Sexy Battle Wizards. I think we're going to give Charlie another couple of seconds, but while we do that, here he comes. I'm going to do the introduction, which I cut to this card, which my crew can't see, but says, welcome to the D20 Future Show, and plays our introduction.
Is that happening now?
Hello and welcome to the D20 Future Show, where Adam interrupts the start. He can't hear it, but that's no excuse. Should have picked it up from context. Welcome to the D20 Future Show. I am your host and GM Richard, and these people are going to play Sexy Battle Wizards. This is Alid.
Hello.
This is Alex.
Hi.
This is George.
Hey.
This is Charlie. And this is Adam, and it's his fault.
It wouldn't be the same without me.
No, it wouldn't.
You wouldn't have nearly as much fun without me.
Disputed. Okay. Sexy Battle Wizards is a game where we will be playing Sexy Battle Wizards. The guys will have dice ready to roll. Hopefully, you guys have got dice or digital equivalents. You need, very briefly, you need some D10, but I've got them if you don't have them, and you need some D6.
I have both.
Excellent. We're going to generate some characters. I'm going to just eliminate the background music. There we go. We're going to generate some characters. Then there'll be a bit where we cut to our non-focus so we can see each of the people, and then I will type their names in, because I can never tell which order they'll be in. And as you can tell, viewer, we do not meet ahead of time and set up the tech because these guys have got real jobs. You guys need to, first of all, you need to decide how you distribute your three stats. And they are, for people who've not played before, Sexy, Battle, and Wizard. If you could let me know how you want to distribute your Sexy, Battle, and Wizard points. That's a 1, a 2, and a 3, but not necessarily in that order. Here we go. Alid. That pen doesn't work anymore.
I think I'm going to go 2, 3, 1. So Sexy Battle Wizard, 2, 3, 1.
2, 3, 1. Here we go. I'm just going to get... I had to buy whiteboard pens quite recently. It was traumatic. I've never done that before. I've always just acquired them through fair means or foul. So here we go. Here we go. Sexy, Battle, and Wizard. So you're 2, 3, 1. So you're
I'm a
bit
slightly
sexy,
not so wizardry battle.
Excellent.
I guess wizard.
And we'll get some more details about you.
I'm slightly sexy.
He's slightly sexy.
I just wanted to point.
I think that was Justin Timberlake's follow-up album, was it not? He's bringing sexy back, and then he's a bit sexy. And we will find out about your weapon, why you're sexy, and your and what school of magic you're from later. And we'll get, I'm hoping, an excellent wizard name.
I will attempt.
You could attempt those things. I could use my fantasy wizard name generator cards if you want, or you can use fantasynamegenerator.com, which is an online resource for generating stuff on the fly. Alex, How are you, sexy battle and wizard? I'm going to assume that you are 3 sexy.
Of course, I'm 3 sexy.
Yes.
3 sexy, 2 battle, 1 wizard.
Okay. And in the game, I'm gonna keep doing that joke. No. Okay. Fair enough. George.
I will go 3 sexy, of course.
Of course.
I reckon I'll go 2 wizard and 1 battle.
Okay. Excellent. Charlie.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2,
3 wizard, 2 battle, 1 sexy.
Yep. You made that really straightforward and then really confusing by doing things
Yeah.
one way and then in the opposite way. Excellent. And Adam.
I'm gonna play it differently to last time. I'm gonna go 1 sexy.
Yep.
I mean, I'm hideous. 3 battle and 2 wizard.
3 battle and 2 wizard. Okay, we've got a decent spread of sexy battle and wizard. Excellent. For sexy is for quotes. I'm just gonna read the rules here. Charm cuties with your slick style and rockin' bod. Battle is to harm your foes with your mighty martial prowess, and wizard is to weave the eldritch arts of magic. And our players will be rolling 1 die, 2 dice, or 3 dice, depending on which of their stats they are. Okay, why are you sexy? Alid, roll a d6.
Roll a d6. Hold on, sorry. My dice rolling is limited to Google. And it's not rolled. Oh, there we go. 4.
4.
Why am I sexy?
You have amazing bone structure. It's just all about the cheekbones for Alid's character. Okay, do you have a name, by the way, Alid? Do we have a wizard name?
I'm going to be Flabbergast, the
Okay.
slightly sexy beast.
Flabbergast, excellent. Flabbergast of the amazing cheekbones and chiseled jaw. And let's find out about your signature weapon. Here we go. You have the Doom Whip. That's your weapon.
The Doom
The
Whip.
Doom Whip. And give me a d6 roll and we'll find out about your magical school.
Okay. And that is a 1.
Okay, the Law of Light. So, wielder of the Doom Whip, Law of Light. That is your wizard. Flabbergast. Alex, tell us the name of your wizard.
There's this fantasy name generator that you were mentioning a minute ago.
Yeah, I can just pull out a business card. Here we go.
Go on, business card it.
Business card. You are Adja. Adja.
Adja.
Adja, here we go.
I'll go with it. Adja.
Adja. Hello, Andy Adja from Cargill. He's named after you. Adja, rolling me a d6.
That's a 1.
Okay, you have sculpted muzzles. Muzzles? Sculpted muscles. You're just ripped. That's why you're so sexy.
I mean, it's true. It's just.
It's true.
That's just.
You wield the Ghost Wolf Hammer. And give me a d6 for your magical school.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. So the art of hyperdimensional splendor is Adja's magical school. George, tell me about your wizard.
Right, can you say that again? That magical school.
The art of hyperdimensional splendor.
Okay.
Sorry, I was only half listening because I was coming up with a kick-ass name.
And that name is?
Hector von Kutzwagel.
Okay, I've only got limited space here, so I'm going to write Hector. Awesome.
Von Kutzwagel.
You can by all means use your full name at every opportunity. I will judge you for not doing so, frankly. And give me a d6 to tell me why are you so sexy.
That's 6.
That's a 6. You're a dangerous rebel with a cool jacket.
Of course, Hector is.
That is why Hector is sexy. I'm going to roll for his weapon. He has got the void chain. The void chain.
Kinky.
Which goes with your bad boy aesthetic, so that's cool. And give me a d6 for your magical school.
3.
3. So you know the secrets of occult shadowmancy. Getting a bit of an emo vibe. Excellent. Okay, Charlie, tell me your wizard's name.
Keith.
Keith. Excellent.
Just Keith.
And why is Keith with a K?
With a C, why not?
With a C. Okay. Keith with a C. Excellent. And give me a d6 to tell me why Keith is so sexy.
6.
Keith is also a dangerous rebel with a cool leather jacket. And that is why Keith
Naturally.
is so sexy. Let's see. Okay. You wield the Doom Cannon.
Right.
That's your weapon. And give me a d6 and we will find out about your School of Magic.
Another 6.
Another 6. You know the way of 10,000 mirrors. I seem to remember Alex's character wielded the way of 10,000 mirrors last time, and it got complicated.
Was it mine?
I think it was. Viewer, I don't think
I remember
it's available.
someone wielding it.
Someone definitely did that, and it got reflective. Adam, what's your wizard called?
My wizard's also called Keith.
Right, but yours is with a K.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Keith with a K. Oh, good. Otherwise, it would be confusing. And why is Keith sexy? Give me a d6 roll. Why do I
5.
tolerate these people? Okay, just your ethereal, graceful, and elegant demeanor. You're just cool, calm, and glamorous. And that is why you are sexy.
Cool.
Okay. Let's tell us about your weapon. You wield the Rift Jezzail. You have a bit of time after this to Google what a Jezzail is and let us know, because I don't know. It's spelt Jezail.
Hector von Kurzweigel has already forgotten what his signature weapon is.
It was the Doom Whip, I think, unless someone else had a Doom Whip.
No, Charlie.
I've got the Doom
Keith,
Whip.
Keith with a C had a Doom Cannon.
Doom Cannon. Alex had.
I had a something whip.
Did you have the Ghost Wolf Whip?
I had the Ghost Wolf Hammer.
What on earth? That?
Should we roll to find out
was
what
it? Yeah. Go for
I
it.
think
Might have
we'll
been a
roll
voice
because I don't know.
Sure.
Here we go.
So I can write that down.
Instead, you have, and you will write it down this time. Good.
Yeah.
The Celestial Bow.
Celestial Bow. Great.
It definitely wasn't that. It now is. Okay. We found out about Keith with a K's whiweapon. Haven't we? Yes.
A Rift
Yes.
Jezzail, which is, it kind of looks a bit like a wobbly musket.
Wobbly musket.
I'm less clear, if anything, about what it is. But I will Google it subtly at some point later. So it's a ranged weapon. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm deeply troubled by the idea of a wobbly musket. I look forward to Googling that in a minute. Okay, and give me a d6 roll and we'll find out about your magic school.
2.
2. You know the Path of Beasts.
Okay.
So, our sexy wizards. So the bit of setting detail for you all, particularly for George, who's never played this before and doesn't have any idea what's going on. You are a sexy battle wizard, the member of a college errant, an organisation based in a magical flying castle that roves the land looking to avert arcane disasters and fight injustice. You have precisely 0 authority to do this. The cops hate you, and you're wanted in several countries for all the collateral damage that you cause while saving the world. That's what's going on. So what's going to happen is when you do stuff, that's intended to grant you an advantage or solve a difficult problem, you're going to roll d6s equal to the most relevant stat. So if you're a wizard, if you're doing magical things that isn't going to harm someone and isn't attempted to seduce or charm people in any way, you're going to roll your wizard spell dice. So for Alid and Alex, for Flabbergast and Adja, that will be only 1 die. And you're looking for, essentially, you're looking for the best result. And the difficulty is a 4 for something quite easy, 5 for something quite difficult, and 6 for when things have really, that's the highest difficulty, when things are the most challenging. You can spend determination, and we'll come on to what that is, on a 1-for-1 basis to add additional dice to your pool. The difficulty is related to the impact of success, not the complexity of the task. So it doesn't matter how difficult or complicated it is, it's how important it is to the story as to what score you're rolling. If your highest dice beats the difficulty, you succeed, and you describe what happens. If it's equal, you succeed, you mark 1 stress, and I describe what happens. And if it's lower than the difficulty, you fail, you gain 1 stress and 1 determination, so you're going to need 2 separate trackers, stress and determination. And the GM describes something bad that happens. So by failing, you build up determination that you can cash in later. When bad stuff happens to you, you also take stress, but that doesn't kind of disappear. But when you fail, if your final stress is higher than the highest dice you rolled, you explode in a burst of magic and reform in the Chapel of Ages inside the College Errant after a little while, and your determination and stress are reset to 0. When each of these mechanics happens, I'll try and explain them again. So that's how it's going to work. All right, I'm going to find out what's going on. That's also on a table, but I shan't tell you. It's a morning like any other in the College Errant, except that you 5 sexy battle wizards have been summoned to the Arcane Master's chambers. You wait outside briefly, and you hear a deep voice boom. Come in.
Do we have to?
We go in.
Thank you.
Plot advancement.
Yes, the plot was stalling real hard there, guys.
Hector von Kutzwagel strides in, leading the party in his
Hector!
dashingly sexy scarlet trench coat.
Nice. Hector, says
You summoned us.
I did, yes. Did you enjoy the voice?
It's a new one, sir. Very good.
I summoned it with magic. I do that now. I'm magic too.
That's great.
But you're always
You're
magic.
not always magic.
You have passed the test. Yes, I am. Right, now, down to business. There's a problem, and you need to solve it, guys.
Do we? Great.
You will
What
travel.
is the problem?
I'm getting to that. I'm glad you asked me, though. You will travel to the temple of, he says, looking up a name. Here we go. Be a good one. The Temple of Yens. God of Law. There seems to be a problem there. My magic problemometer. And he holds up a large golden sphere with a red glowing thing on the top. It's just going crazy.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
I have. It only made it worse. I mean, the problem can't be any worse, but it's going crazy, so there must be a problem. You're going to travel to the Temple of Yens and sort it out, right?
I mean, have you tried hiding it under a sheet and just pretending it doesn't exist?
What if we took the reality-threatening danger a bit more seriously than suggesting it's just an IT glitch? How about that, guys?
Yeah, but if we
Okay,
don't,
why
if
not?
we can't see the red glowing light, then we don't know there's any problems. Right?
Yes. He covers it over with a cloth, the whole cloth starts to glow red. You see, the problem seems to have got worse, if anything.
So clearly you're the problem, and you keep making it worse.
I don't understand why you're being so difficult about this. You guys are sexy battle wizards, and there's a problem. Why are you not champing at the bit?
Well, I'm going to
Let's
leave
go.
and go to this temple before you make this any worse, because
Please.
Yeah,
I don't want to be around here when it gets really bad.
I don't want to see what you've got planned for the end of it.
For the ending? I don't understand. The idea is to prevent any endings.
Yeah, but the way this is going, that's just we're going to get there really quickly, isn't it? So we best get going, huh?
All right then. He holds a hand out dramatically and subtly does something under the desk, and an enormous portal opens. It's rimmed in kind of runic script that floats in the air, and it glows black.
Did you just push the portal
that's
button
ominous.
under the desk?
Ah, yes, sorry, I've got it set to ominous. And he presses something else under the desk, and it now glows a sort of cheery yellow.
Oh, that looks far more inviting.
Much
Oh,
better.
I didn't
Yeah,
say.
let's go. Let's go, guys. Wander through the portal.
Okay,
Just go
Adja.
now.
Adja wanders through the portal, and you find yourself on the other side. You're now stood in a temple. It appears to have there are hammers on most surfaces. Where there aren't hammers, there are scales. There is the odd statue of a blind woman. You know this to be the god Yens. She is the god of justice and nobility and people getting what they deserve. It is surrounded by graves. This temple, and you can see that some of them are empty. That there's the gaps where there should be paved over graves.
Wait, did we actually find out what the problem was?
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
Hey guys, let's find out what the problem is. Hey.
I point to one of the empty graves. Well, that looks like a problem. I don't know if it is the problem, but it could be a problem.
Is it a case of we need to fill that up? Or
If you're volunteering, then.
I'm not
Could
sure.
do with a lie down.
Yeah.
I go and lie in one of the empty graves.
Okay,
What's going to happen?
it
Someone will
feels
do it.
cold. You are now a bit colder than you were.
Is there a shovel somewhere and a pile of dirt?
You guys are sexy battle wizards. If you want to use your magic to cover over the grave, I think that's fine.
I get out of the grave.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to have helped, guys. Doesn't seem to have helped.
So the holes in the ground aren't the problem. Okay.
If they are,
Okay.
then Adja lying in it didn't solve them.
Maybe it's what came
Anyone around?
out of the holes.
You look around. You can't see anyone. It's not normally a particularly busy temple. You'd have to go inside to see if there are any priests.
Go inside and see if there's any priests.
Let's see if they've left their cold, wet holes for a slightly warmer, covered temple, shall we?
As you walk in, you can see that there are zombies everywhere. If
Did
there's a
not
flat
see that
surface,
coming.
there's a zombie standing on it.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
You hear from the back,
Hi, are you the priest?
"Help! Help! Help! There are zombies
think-
everywhere, and it's freaking me right out."
I think that's the priest.
But is the priest the problem?
Oh, so these guys aren't the priests. Or are the priests the problem, or are the zombies the problem?
I don't see a problem at all here. Is this not what happens in the
Just
temples?
It's just natural selection in the D&D world. This, I think.
Can I be really clear? Says the freaked out voice. This is not the way it's supposed to be. This, if anything, is unjust. These people have died. They shouldn't be alive again. That's not fair.
There is some logic in this madness, I suppose.
Okay then. Shall we get rid of these zombies then? Unless any of you zombies wish to counteract this.
One of the zombies turns round and goes. A moment later, several other zombies turn round and there's a sort of.
Hold on, guys. I speak zombie.
I would like you to roll me a wizard check, please.
I'm
It's
okay
a
with
difficulty
that.
4.
Wait, what do I need to roll? Sorry, is it a D10?
So a D6.
Okay.
But you're quite good at wizard, so you're going to roll
I'm too wizard.
2d6. You're looking
Okie
for
dokie.
more than a 4.
I got 1 and a 2.
A 1 and a 2. Take 1 point of determination and 1 point of stress.
Okie dokie.
As you do your best to weave the forces of whichever sort of magic you do, I can't remember, it's the Path of Beasts, as you attempt to draw on the primal forces of nature in an attempt to decipher these guttural grunts, it hurts your mind. You can make nothing out from the sense of the words coming out of these zombies' mouths. However, more of them have turned now. Almost the entire zombie horde is now facing towards you. They start to shuffle step by step towards you. One of them says, "Moo," at which point a sort of chorus of harmonics chimes up with, "Oh, oh, moo." It's sort of close harmony. The one in front is kind of very much holding at the bass as he goes, "Moo."
I'm not a fan of bass. I run in and attack and with my ghost wolf hammer.
Okay, I'm going to say for attacking this one, he is a 5. With your ghost wolf hammer, you're going to make a battle roll, and you're looking for a 5 or a 6. A 5 will cost you. There will be some cost, but a 6 you will kill it outright.
I got a 5.
You got a 5, so if you equal, you mark 1 stress on your stress track. Remember, if you roll your highest dice is rolled under your total stress, you explode. You unleash the power of your ghost wolf whip. The ghost wolf howls and tears into the zombie's flesh, destroying his head and inevitably killing the zombie, or technically re-deading the zombie, because they are undead and so they need to be re-deaded. That is the science.
Are there any female undead zombies?
Sure. Yes. The closest one to you, whose hands are outstretched, you can see that much of the flesh has rotted off this zombie's corpse.
Sure. Yeah.
But she's, not unattractive if, half rotten flesh. Her teeth
Hector-
glimmer in the torchlight as she stumbles towards you.
Sure. Hector von Kutzwagel will take off his glasses to make this a little easier on his eyes, and then he will approach the female zombie.
Yep.
And attempt to chat her up.
Okay.
Hello, my dear.
This is a
you
4.
are-
This is a 4. So you're going to roll 3
say-
dice. You're looking for 4 or more.
Great. I'll say, my dear, you are looking fabulous on this evening. What say we go back to your place and just wait for me there. Just go back in the grave. I'll hit you up. Great. So I'm rolling d6s, right?
Yeah. So you're going to roll 3 d6s because
as
of
if
how
you're-
sexy you are.
A 4 is my highest.
Okay. So you take a point of stress.
Great.
However, the zombie chick looks at you, kind of pauses, and goes, "Moo." And starts to shamble away from the pack. You see her very slowly lower herself into a grave and start to gather the soil over her. However, it hasn't delayed the rest of the horde, who are still lumbering towards.
Sure.
I'm going to say that
Baby
Flabbergast
steps.
is probably in the biggest, most danger. Flabbergast, what are you going to do about the zombie horde?
Can I do two things? I do want to sort of deter them a bit with my doom whip,
Okay.
but I also want to shout over to the priest and just like, so did you do anything different today? That if this isn't normal, just so we can, get context.
Brilliant. Okay,
Whilst-
I love
whilst
your
whipping.
investigative attitude. But first, so is this just an attempt to put off the zombies, or are you attempting to re-dead them?
Attempting to just put them off.
Okay.
It's more of a get out the way rather than a.
All right. Roll me a battle check. This is only a 4, so you're looking for 4, 5, or 6. Better if it's a 5 or a 6.
Ooh, I got a 6. I got 2 actually, but 1's good enough.
The zombies recoil away from the from your ghost wolf whip. You've got a ghost wolf whip?
I have a doom whip.
You have a doom whip. The doom whip, as it cracks, instead of a kind of crack sound, it goes doom, doom. And this kind of low frequency seems to repel each of the zombies, who kind of, and they start to kind of side eye each other as if to say, "No, well, you shamble towards him first, and then we'll join you. It'll be fine." But none of them do. Okay, Keith with a C. You guys. Keith with a C. How are you dealing with the zombie horde?
I'm gonna call on my reflectivity and cast horde into butterflies.
Okay. This, while it sounds like magic, it remains a battle check because you're attempting to destroy these. So, give me a battle roll. Still a 4.
I'm supposed to roll 2d6, right?
You're going to roll 2d6. Yep. And tell us
it,
the
lad.
best result.
Oh, the best result. I thought I had them together. Okay, the best is 6 then.
Best is 6. Yeah. So you with a sweep of your arcane hand describe what happens to the zombie horde.
They all turn into butterflies. That's the goal. I just wanted to.
There is a cloud of butterflies in front of you. They none of which look particularly healthy, but they flutter out of the chamber. A man called Haftel stumbles toward you and says, I am Haftel, priest of Jens. Who are you?
Isn't it obvious?
Well-
We're sexy battle wizards. And I kind of give him like a spin, to like
Okay.
flash the trench coat.
As
We
your
are the sexy battle wizards, not just any old sexy battle wizards. The sexy battle wizards.
Your legend has not reached this temple before, but you are more than welcome heroes, and such good-looking heroes. I mean, I'm as straight as a die, but damn, you guys are sexy, he says. Now, you, and he points to Flabbergast, you asked a significant question, which was, have we done anything different? The answer is no. I got up, I performed the morning rite. We
Is that normal?
Yes.
Are you sure you didn't perform the morning wrong?
What? Clever
You
wordplay,
back-
but it's no time for that kind of comedy. Nice. We performed the morning rite. We judged the acolytes, found several of them guilty, had one of them executed. Hopefully, when Charlie comes back, we'll jump to our correct spots, because currently the bottom row is misnamed.
I'm so sorry. I'll be in like 2 minutes.
Not a problem. I'll try not to advance the plot too much, but these guys won't let me, so it's fine. Except we judged several of the acolytes guilty. I executed one of them myself. It was most just. with a hammer, as is her way, and he touches his chest, and then he touches his head, symbolising, as you all know.
I just flick up my Ghost Wolf hammer and fling it up into the air, spinning it and catch it again.
And he says, a fine hammer, and of course the head must rule the heart. And he nods, and then looks up, expecting you each to have nodded as well.
I'll place my hand on my heart and then my head, and then bow.
Okay. He says, "Oh, just after that, there were zombies everywhere, just everywhere. You have dealt with them, and I'm most grateful for. But I know nothing of what is going on. This is not in the sacred text anywhere, and if anything, seems very unfair, and so cannot possibly be the work of Jens."
Yes, surely. So you've never seen this before. This isn't normal at all.
Absolutely not. No, I feel like I would have noticed this if it has happened before.
Yeah, yes, I guess it is slightly unusual. Who does know what has happened then?
Well,
if you don't, and well, we've got rid of the problem. Are we good now? Or do you want them all back in the holes? Because that's a bit more of a task.
No, I mean, you've turned them into butterflies and they've all flown away. That seems, for now, to sort of have the problem pegged, if you like. It seems, and he pauses, seems a just outcome. However, I do not know how the extent to which you have solved the problem. And there is a scream from downstairs. That sort of thing has been going on rather a lot.
Is that normal?
The screams only really during executions, and only then from people who don't appreciate how just their execution is, which, let's face it, is a rarity. We tend to explain these things.
And I'm sure not very many reasonable people come through these doors.
Why? We expect everyone to be reasonable.
That sounds like such a burn.
Adger is no longer paying attention and is just doing curls with his hammer.
Fair enough.
That scream, then, is that someone you know?
Well, I mean, I suppose so. It could be one of the acolytes.
Do you want us to do something about it?
Well, yes, but it seems that you guys don't seem to do whatever I want at any point, so I didn't want to force you into it, but if you wanted to investigate downstairs and to the catacombs below the temple, where we hold the most sacred texts that explain why everyone must die for their sins, then that would be greatly appreciated.
The catacombs, that sounds like a place that I would rather avoid, but...
Well, I suppose it depends on how sexy and hard you are.
Did someone say hard? These muscles are hard.
Well, yes, and yet...
Where do I need to prove this?
The screaming and the people downstairs?
I just run towards the staircase.
Yeah, we'll go sort it.
Okay. As with Adger at the front again, you charge down. Keith with a C seems to have been distracted by something, but Keith with a K is with you all. You head down a short flight of stairs into a room with a series of candelabra makes them sound elaborate, and they are not. They are metal rings with just enough candles to make things light up. Hanging from the ceiling, but also hanging from one of these is a woman. She is wearing very simple priestly robes, and she is the source of the scream. Immediately obvious to you and lit by candlelight, the reason for the scream are more zombies.
Now, is this normal?
Who are you asking?
Well, if the priest hasn't come down, just Just the gang.
It just okay. Yeah, the priest hasn't come down. He's
No,
much
okay.
too scared of zombies.
Mm.
I presume not if the zombies aren't normal. And besides,
Well, I don't know. We've not been here before. Hello, you up there? Is this normal?
Ah! Who are you?
I mean, in fairness, a catacomb is like
how
the
many
home of a
zombies-
zombie. We've walked
how
into
many-
their living room, basically.
how many zombies are there in this room right now?
About 20. They're all sort of
20.
holding their hands up at this woman who is desperately doing her best to kind of to climb up onto this the candelabra and ensure that she is not chandelier. Either way, the candles hanging from the ceiling to try and make sure she's not torn to pieces.
I shout at the zombies. Oi, zombies! Pick on someone your own size.
You
Is
hear
she really
in
small?
quite kind of unison. They slowly all turn to look at you, shrug, and welcome back, Charlie. There are zombies in the catacombs, and turn back and
Surprise.
start reaching up at
And
the
we
woman.
are there too.
I run in
So
and
she is their size.
try and smash. I like several of them all in one hammer blow.
Okay,
Is my
that's going to
attempt.
be a battle check. We'll call it a 5 as you're attempting to eliminate all of these with your. I forget what sort of hammer it is. I used to have a good handle on this. The Doom Hammer,
Ghost Wolf Hammer.
the Ghost Wolf Hammer.
And I got a 5.
Okay, take a point of stress. Is that right? Yes, point of stress. Take a
Yep.
point of stress. Remembering that if you roll under that, you explode. You swing the Ghost Wolf Hammer, and it just carves a swathe through these zombies. Most of whom don't do any more than sort of vaguely looking towards you as their heads erupt as the Ghost Wolf Hammer and the spirit of the wolf entombed within it destroys them at a kind of molecular level. The woman, if anything, screams
I
more.
look up. I look up at her and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
I'm
In an
gonna
attempt to
call
charm her.
this is definitely a sexy check. So give me
Oh,
give me Adja, roll me a sexy.
What's my
So I'm
what's
gonna
my,
say this is a
requirement?
4. This is a 4. You're gonna roll 3 dice.
I got a 6.
You've got a 6. Describe how she responds to your attempt to chat her up.
She is mightily impressed that I've just killed all the zombies who are going after her, and is just jumps off the chandelier straight into my muscular arms.
She says, "Thank you so much for saving me. You are my hero."
I know, I'm many people's hero. How have all these zombies come around, and why are they attacking you?
Well, I mean, I'm far from a zombie expert, but it seems they're attacking relatively indiscriminately. And you look over, there is one more zombie, and he's just tearing apart another acolyte. There is sort of blood and guts everywhere. He looks up and says, "Whoa," and then goes back to eating.
I fire my doom
Just-
cannon at him.
Yes, that is a battle roll, Keith.
Which Keith? Sorry.
Keith with a C. You know,
Okay.
Hutton. That's a 4.
3, so
You fire your
Yeah.
doom cannon near the zombie. There is a shattering boom. The very stones of the catacomb rumble, and the zombie sort of looks up and starts to shamble towards you as you take a point of stress and a point of determination.
I turn to the woman that Adja is so deftly carrying. Did you and I glance over at the acolyte that has been torn apart. Did either of you do anything differently this morning that may have caused this, I guess, unusual situation?
I mean, not that I can think of. Let me think. Well, I mean, Ulrich there, and points to the sort of most of what's left of an acolyte. Ulrich did open the sacred tomb that must not be opened, under pain of judgment and death. So it could be a bit to do with that.
Is that
So I
part of
guess-
the morning routine? I just want to be very, very certain of what's happened.
What
Is opening the tomb that must never be opened part of the morning routine?
Open the secret tome that must never be opened on pain of death and judgment?
Do you open that every day?
No,
Okay.
it's absolutely not. And I told him at the time.
So, actually, it is fairly normal what has happened because it is just as per your religion
Well,
that
I suppose
he
it very
opened
much...
the tomb and pain and death, and so all is okay.
Well, I guess it very much depends on your definition of normal. But the zombie that is now it's maybe only a foot away from Keith with a K, and very much saying, "Blah," which is making it quite difficult to hold this conversation because it's quite loud and it echoes really beautifully through the catacombs.
I turn around and slap my whip and just, oh, we're talking here, and try and
Okay, are you attempting to destroy or just put off the
Just
zombie?
shut it up.
destroy.
Destroy, okay. Give me a battle check. We're going to call it a 4. It's just one
Oh, I got
zombie.
a 4.
You got a 4. Take a point of stress. As you crack your whip, it neatly bifurcates its head, destroying the brain, and it falls to a floor. Falls to the floor. Just through the last of its vocal cords, you hear, and it flops to the floor. She says, I mean, you could say that it's normal for you guys to turn up and use your astonishing magical weapons to destroy zombies. I don't think that that's normal. I don't think this happens to me every day. It may be that what Ulrich did resulted in this, but that doesn't feel normal. That feels, if anything, abnormal.
But
So where's this tomb so that we can sort this out?
The tome.
Yes.
Tome.
Sorry.
The tome. Well, I think it's somewhere deeper into the catacombs. He ran away with it, saying that he knew where to take it to make sure that no one ever found out. I explained it would be terribly unfair if no one ever found out about the bad thing he did, because we serve Jens and we must see what is just and right done. And he said that he didn't care and said all sorts of unpleasant things about me, which I feel a bit bad for resenting him for now, looking at the sort of puddle that is this man.
Well, I point to him and say, all things considered then, is that not just and fair? Pointing at what is left.
I mean, Jens would
Is that not
definitely
just
say
unfair?
that he got what he deserved. Yes, absolutely.
Right, okay. So this is normal.
No. What is just and fair, and speaks to the righteousness that is built into the structure of reality, is one thing. What is normal is a second and different thing. We're talking about different axes here.
so which is it that you'd prefer? Would you prefer it to be just or to be normal?
Well, I mean, obviously, I prefer it to be just, and she kind of looks around. But if it were
See you in a
less
bit.
less
See you in a bit.
fatal zombie attacks, particularly to me, who, and I want to stress this, I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything wrong. All I did was attempt to explain to Father Halfdell what had happened, but you know I didn't get the chance because of all the zombies.
Sure, I guess the logic checks out.
Good. I'm
So-
glad you acknowledge the basic decency and justice of what I'm saying, which is there's a problem here and I need help. And then
Sure.
she turns to
Right.
Adja and says, you must work out a lot, right?
Yes, I do. Am I still holding her at this point?
I assume so. Yeah. Just kind of cradling in one arm, I'm assuming. Just sort of.
Yeah, I switched to one arm from two, and just say, yes, I do.
As you slowly bicep curl this woman, she says, "Whoa, huh, that's very impressive."
I put her down and say, go upstairs to safety. We'll play these catacombs.
"Oh, thank you," she says. You're so honourable and noble and I mean, that ass won't quit," she says, admiring your posterior. And then she runs up the stairs.
Well, I guess she's right. It is pretty legit, but let's the tome.
About
Yeah.
his
Go find this
bottom.
tome.
Yes, continue. Let's to the tome. That is
Yes,
just
Keith,
another
it's
thing.
very important that we all understand that Adja's ass will not quit.
It's very important to the plot.
It's,
It is.
I guess we'll find out. I'm
going to make it important to the plot.
I'm not entirely sure how we're going to make it important to the plot that Adja's ass will not quit, but here we are.
I'm gonna find a way to work it in.
I believe in you. As you make your way into the next chamber, you are in no way surprised to see a dimly lit chamber. There are a number of shafts of light coming from some skylights out into the above. It's full of zombies. They all turn as one to you and say, "Ah."
Okay, I'm going to use my mastery of the secrets of occult shadowmancy
Yep.
to make the floor of the chamber open up into like a massive gaping maw
Okay.
and eat all of the zombies.
And eat all of the zombies. That is a battle check.
Yeah. Or not well. Yeah, it's like swallow them. You know what I mean.
Yeah. It's
Still a
very
battle
clear in
check.
the rules. There aren't many of them.
Okay.
Anytime you're attempting to harm your foes, and I think causing a maw from beyond reality to swallow them whole is attempting to
Sure.
harm them. That
Sure.
is a battle check.
I got a 5.
You've got a 5. Okay. Describe this eldritch event.
Okay, so resembling like Cthulhu with tentacles and these large, like serrated teeth, the floor of the chamber turns into a huge abyssal maw, swallowing all of the zombies before disappearing and returning to a normal floor-like state.
You hear somewhere in a far-off reality a kind of gentle belch. No one else hears
Sort
it.
of gassy.
Only Hector
Apparently,
hears
to
that, of
eldritch
course.
gods.
The room is now empty of zombies and of anything else you might have found in there.
Do I take any stress for that? Or...
No, because it was a 4 and you got a 5, so that's all
Oh,
good.
great.
Remember, of course, people, if you have determination, you can cash it in for an extra dice. Wouldn't want you to forget that when things get a bit more serious. Is that the right word? We've dealt with, I think, each of those characters. So there are. I've got my name generator here, and I think we've met Father Haftel. We know what happened to Ulrich, and Els is upstairs explaining to Father Haftel about how good looking the wizard who rescued her is.
Yeah, she is.
So you are in the catacombs. This single chamber has in the middle of it one large stone grave which has been pushed aside, but there are a number of carved notches that you suspect will have held mummified bodies. All you can see now are sort of mummifying wraps that have been torn apart. You can head deeper into the catacombs if you wish. You could head north or west.
Half my
Is
calendar
there
up and
any-
just begin walking north.
Okay. As you proceed north, you find another chamber, in which is a book that it's bound in some kind of black material that's slightly hard to look at, but it glows purple.
Does it have the words "Forbidden Tome that must never ever be opened" written on it?
Yes, it does. It says on the cover in black gold leaf. It says, "Forbidden tome that must not be open for fear of judgment and death."
I go, check that.
I'm
Check that out. There we go.
going to cast Revoke Judgment and Death on the book.
Okay. Yeah. I think we'll call this a 6, as you're attempting to just fix the whole problem. Excellent.
I'm also going to use my
Determination.
Okay, so you're gonna roll 4 dice. You're looking for a 6.
Get a 6.
You get a 6. The purple glow around the book shines suddenly bright white, and then a moment later, the glow seems to have eased. You feel a sense of rightness return to the whole place.
Wait, you did get a 6.
I didn't
You
get a
didn't
6.
get a
I said.
six.
Oh, you
I thought I
didn't
was
get a
wrong.
6.
I did not get.
Oh,
For a brief moment, you have a window into reality where that worked. However, you take a point of stress and a point of determination. The glowing gets brighter. The pages start to it gently opens, and then pages start to flip. And each time it does, you see a dark shape escape the page.
I
On
try
the
and
page,
close the tome.
okay.
Just close it.
You just like
None of
you
that.
do that. As you do, and you step back, it flops back up again, and more pages start to turn.
I try and close it and put a rock on top of it.
Okay. You place a rock on top of the book. The book rumbles for a minute, and then one of the black shapes just picks up the rock, puts it back down.
Well, I'm stumped here.
The dark shape doesn't appear to have any eyes, but it's the kind of head-like thing sort of pauses, looks at you, and its arms do this. And the book pops open, and more dark shapes start to emerge from beneath from within the pages of the book that must not be open for fear of judgment and death. This room is filling up with dark shapes.
Try and put the rock back on the book.
You pick up the rock and put it back on the book. You rest it on the open book. Yeah, on the open book. It doesn't seem to slow down the turning of pages and the escaping of dark shapes.
Well, it's got to run out of dark shapes eventually.
You stand
Yeah,
and
let's
wait
just hang
for it to
around
run
them
out of
with
dark shapes. There's quite a long time as you stand, kind of looking at each other, going, there's only so many dark shapes that can be entombed among an evil tome. They just seem to keep on going for quite a while, and then
I attempt to send these dark shapes back to their original plane of existence using my Art of Dimensional Splendor.
okay, give me a, let's say, difficulty 5 wizard check.
Wizard check.
Wizard check, yeah.
Okay.
I'd use that determination if I were you.
6.
He's hit a
You
6.
got a 6.
Yeah. Describe how you return these dark shapes to their original plane of reality.
He just points at the book and says,
I-
"Get back in there."
No. I like half close my eyes, roll my eyes back into my head, stretch out my arms, and go. Shapes, go back to where you're meant to go.
As
Look up, and they've all disappeared.
suddenly, each of the dark shapes has gone, The rock slowly rumbles off the book, and it shuts itself.
Look
Wow.
at that.
Good job.
That looks normal.
Yeah. I'm intrigued what's on the pages in the book, though. Let's take a look.
Let's open it. Yeah. Let's have a look.
I cast using my art of shadow occultness.
Yep.
I conjure a huge solid steel padlock around the book and kind of chain it closed with
Right.
a padlock.
So we'll take this in turns. First of all, Flabbergast opens the book and starts to read. The experience is it's the opposite of reading. The book seems to consume knowledge from you. You find yourself very much experiencing just forgetting things.
I forgot to stroke the spine. Remember, you got to stroke the spine of the book.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it won't
Close
bite
it again.
you.
I close it again.
And
So stroke the spine.
And it won't bite you then.
you stroke the spine, at which point we're going to have a wizard check from Hector
Von Kutzwagel.
von Kutzwagel.
All right, so I'm wizard 2, so that's 2d6, right?
Yeah. We'll call this a 5.
That's a 6.
That's a 6.
Hey.
Describe the how the padlock emerges. and
So
describe the padlock.
there are chains that are summoned, instantly snatching the book from the hands of I forgot his name. The chains
Flabbergast.
wrap around the book. Flabbergast, yeah, of course, yeah. Flabbergast is flabbergasted as chains appear right in front of him. The chains wrap the book closed, sealing it tight, and then a huge steel magic padlock locks into place the chains, and they are sealed shut.
The book trembles for a minute, shudders, and sort of flops one way and then the other, and then you hear a kind of and the book lies at rest. At this point, Haftel walks in and says, "Oh no! The sacred tongue that must not be opened for fear
Upon
of
fear of judgment and death.
judgment
Yeah,
and
don't forget
death." I see you've also read the
That's the one.
cover.
Yeah.
You didn't read any more. And he turns and looks Keith with a K directly in the eye and say, "You didn't read any more of the book, did you?"
Yeah, me and Flabbergast did, yeah. It was a good read.
You,
I mean, I
you
feel
read
like
the
I've
book.
forgotten my own name. Somewhat's missing, but it was a good read.
I'll cast Restore Memory on Kevin with a C. I'm sorry, Keith with a K.
Okay,
with
that's
a
a
K.
wizard
Keith,
check.
Keith with a K.
Yeah.
Restore Memory.
Okay, that's a wizard check. Difficulty
That's
4.
a 5.
That's a 5. All of the memories that you lost in the time when you read the book, which we definitely didn't narrate earlier, so I don't know why you said it happened, are returned to you.
There you go.
Thank you.
I cast Restore False Memory, making believe that his name is Keith with a C.
That's a 4 as well. Why not? Go for it. You're really good at wizard as well.
6.
6. Keith with a K, you're now convinced that your name is Keith with a C.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Fine. Father Haftel says, "Unfortunately, and it is out of my hands, but now you must be judged and executed."
Ah. Well, that's not normal.
Unfortunately, normal or not, it is part of our sacred held faith. But before,
Yeah, but you see, what was happening was just but not normal, and you wanted it to be normal, not necessarily just. And now I want it to be normal.
no, absolutely. I'm
and
going
not
to stop
just.
you there.
Can it just be normal?
I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to remember the voice I heard earlier, which was a bit more like this. No, I'm going to stop you there, and I'm going to be very clear on this. What I want is for things to be normal, Now we often talk of the normal, just, sacred axes. These are two axes that are they are perpendicular to each other in the sacred diagrams. And he opens up a sort of pocket-sized book with really fine pages and quite small print, and sort of flip, 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 turns.
Is it the pocket version of the never open this tome?
No.
For fear of death?
Quite the opposite. It's the pocket book of the sacred book of judgment, from written by the goddess Jens. And he says,
If you fail to open this, you have judgment.
yeah, you must open this daily for fear of judgment and death otherwise.
Yeah.
And gold leaf on the front, red bound.
Nice.
It's provided by the Hydians, it says on the side, and that's just a joke for Christians. But I had a lovely time. He flips over to the book, and there's a diagram in it. This diagram has been reproduced very carefully, and it has two axes, one of which is labelled normal, abnormal, and the other of which is labelled just, unjust. And there's a sort of arrow to the just half of it, saying, we don't really care whether we're normal or abnormal, but things must be in this half of the graph. And all things that are right must be in this half of the graph, he says. So
I cast invert axes.
Okay. That's a 5. That's a 5.
As I attempt to invert the axis of justice and
injustice.
You know.
Oh, is it you want to transpose the two axes, or you just want to flip just and unjust?
I want to alter reality.
Okay. I think that might be a 6. I think we call it altering the very nature of reality a 6.
I got a 6.
Take a point of stress. Concentrating, you attempt to completely just alter the very fabric of reality within which the gods are woven, and you a small trickle of blood comes out of your nose. However, the Father Haftel stares at the book for a minute and then goes, "Ah, no. It seems we're not at all concerned about justice." That doesn't sound right. At this point, the young female acolyte sort of runs in, pauses, and just sort of checks out Adja. Just maybe a little bit longer than
I
everyone's
just do
comfortable with, except Adja, and then says, Father Haftel, have you seen? And opens the book, a larger book. This something happened, and points to exactly the same diagram, which now says in exactly the same words that Jens is no longer that bothered about just and unjust. That's not really the point. It's about normal. Father Haftel says, "Yes, it came as a surprise to me, but here we are. Well, the way of Jens is the way of Jens, so the real problem we need to sort out is about how abnormal things are." And then the woman says, "Yes, well, in which case you probably want to go to the inner sanctum."
Well, all right then.
Okay, why would we want to do that? And she says, "Well, things are definitely abnormal in there." "But is it just? Why does that matter?" "Oh, you're right. I don't care about that anymore. This is terribly confusing. I think I need a bit of a lie down." And he just he pauses and then goes, "But it'll be abnormal to do it here." So he sort of runs off.
The inner sanctum.
So what's abnormal about the inner sanctum?
Well, it's sort of the demon in there.
Okay. That is a bit abnormal, being a demon in the inner sanctum.
Normally, there are no demons in there, but right now, there is a big one.
I think this is a setup.
A setup.
Like, there's got to be cops in there waiting to catch us out. I don't trust this guy.
It's all right. They don't care about justice anymore.
That's true.
Let's go.
As you run upstairs, you see Father Haftel, who is stood. He seems to have composed himself rather, and he's now holding an enormous stone hammer with a wooden shaft, stood over a poor man in handcuffs, who says, "But Father Haftel, you said we don't care about what's just anymore." And Father Haftel says, "Ah, yes, but unfortunately it's normal for people to be executed for their crimes in this temple." He says, "So head on the block." And the poor man says, "No, but but if it's okay, fair enough." And rests his head on the block. Father Haftel says, "Ah, yes, things are normal. Excellent." And with one swift blow, kills the man. Ah, yes.
That's normal.
Did you? Yes, it absolutely is. We have many more executions today. It's just the way it is when you worship the god of, well, I suppose justice. Yes, she's still the god of justice. That makes sense. Yes, that will be normal. It will be abnormal for her to change the nature of her worship, I think. What? Anyway, did you make it into the inner sanctum?
Well, just by judging by what it seems quite normal that you have a lot of energy for killing at the moment, and there might be a slightly bigger problem in the inner sanctum, and just it would be quite normal for us to send someone who has, the energy and the will to kill to go and deal with it. So
What you're saying is
you first.
there's a problem in there. That's abnormal. It's normal for me to solve it because I'm the person who puts to death all the people who are abnormal.
Yes.
Yes.
All right then. And he charges off, brandishing the hammer of justice. It has HOJ written on the side of the head.
Just follow him. Let's just follow him for a laugh and see where this goes.
The five of you follow as he kind of kicks the door open. No, he doesn't. He stops, pauses, and turns both door handles and opens them slowly, and goes, "That's normal," and then steps through, pauses, and go, "That is not normal!" And you see for a moment, you see the hammer fall to the floor, and then you see. None of you are experts at anatomy, but you reckon all of those bits should be on the inside of a person, but they kind of spray out of the room.
Is that?
The beautiful acolyte says, "You guys are so good looking, but that is abnormal."
Oh, I was about to ask.
Hmm.
Just to make sure.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Gotta check these things.
The inner sanctum is mostly for carrying out the most sacred rites, sort of copying out of scriptures, prayers, and tax returns. Less
I'm
evil
okay with
demonic murders.
Tell me more about these tax returns.
You see, we get a deduction because we're a charity, you see.
I was going to say, yeah, charity relief.
Yeah, based on the fact that we provide an important social support to the local economy. We determine what is right and what is not.
Do you need a drink? You sound like you might need a bit of a drink there. You get a bit
Are you
dry
asking me
throat.
out?
Sure.
Sure.
Is that normal? Is that normal to be asked out in a temple? Sure.
Roll me a sexy check.
Oh, good fun. Yeah, no, okay.
I'm just
Never
going to be
mind.
doing this in the background.
I'll just add a stress now. Don't worry about it.
Okay. She says, "It's just, I don't mean to be mean. It's your mate I fancy," and indicates Adja.
Do you think hosting a demon in your inner sanctum will you'll lose your tax relief status? Just
Well,
what would be normal
I'm
in
not
this
sure.
situation?
I'm not sure how much it'll affect our tax status, but I'm sort of less worried about that and more worried about the fact that it's not normal. And if I've learnt anything, looking over at the the sort of, it's not beheaded so much as the corpse that's had his head smashed in with a heavy hammer blow. It's that, I mean, I know Father Haftel isn't around anymore, but it would be normal for someone to carry out executions for people who tolerate abnormality. And I don't want to be, well, I want to be the one doing the executing rather than the victim, if you see what I mean.
Just think of the overheads related to cleaning here. Think of the tax relief you'll get from the repair work that you're going to have to be
Oh, yes.
doing.
I mean, we mostly do that through a shell corporation, which we fund ourselves. It's a bit of a tax dodge, but it's quite normal.
That's normal. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Do you think you could work with...
into the inner sanctum room and try and destroy the demon with my art of hyperdimensional splendor.
Okay, as you're doing
trying
that,
to send it back into its own dimension.
As you're doing that, Flabbergast, what are you up to?
Do you think that we could make an arrangement with the demon, seeing as you've lost the person who kills your people, and there is a demon in your inner sanctum who kills people? Could you just send the people into the killing room, as we could rename it? That could become normal.
What you're saying is we establish a new normal whereby we feed the demon with those who we believe to have committed abnormal acts.
Yes.
I think it would solve so many problems.
That feels deep down in my heart, and I know that we no longer care about what is just and what is unjust. That seems to be right out, and it's more like what is normal and what is abnormal. But moving from a justice-obsessed cult, with no mercy, only the very harsh realities of the wielding of stone execution hammers, to a demonic cult that takes those who have offended our God in some way and feeds them to a demon, feels deep down. And then she just makes eye contact at Adja for a minute and then goes, "You have such dreamy eyes." Just feels abnormal to me. And I admire your theological innovation, but you're going to need a different sort of cult to find that the correct way of doing things.
Well, let's be honest, at this point, there's less of you in this temple than there was, and you might have to reinvent yourselves anyway.
No, you see, the thing is, the normal number of people who worship here has been set in stone for generations, and I'm not changing it. Anyone who did that would be into the abnormal half of the graph, and those people get... and she points over to the headless corpse of the man. There's blood everywhere. But it's running down kind of drainage channels that have been cut over many years. So, if you wouldn't mind, since you guys are such handsome dudes, if you wouldn't mind... Oh dear, I suddenly sounded like I was a grandma. If you wouldn't mind... As opposed to before, where I sounded like a beautiful woman. Hello, Paula. I think you've only started watching us in the last few minutes. It's got weird. I'll level with you.
Oh my god.
If you watch from the beginning, it won't help very much. She says, if you wouldn't mind just solving my problem with the old demon in the inner sanctum, that would be best for everyone.
Well, it looks like your hero is well on his way to doing so.
Adja is, just
thundering towards it.
Thundering towards. The doors are open. Inside, you see a 10-foot tall demon with giant bat wings on each of his arms. His fingers end in giant hooked claws that seem to finish at a single white point, each of them. It has teeth coming out of both of its nostrils and its ears, and it says, "Oh, disturbs."
I'm sorry, but that is not normal.
Who disturbs?
Do you know what?
I've done all right for a demonic name. Who disturbs? Betty Kilgour. Sorry to the guy from New Zealand Extract Limited who is called Campbell Berry Kilgour, but who disturbs Kilgour?
I just turn around and, because I said I'd make it a part of the plot, smack myself on the behind and say, "This ass that never quits disturbs you."
Is that a charm check?
Yeah, why
I
not?
think you did.
You're attempting to
I-
use how much your ass will not quit to seduce the demon Betty Kilgour.
Yep. Yeah, that's
I
exactly
thought
what's
before
going
you
on.
said Betty Kilgour.
No,
Betty White.
I think Betty Kilgour sounds like an evil cake company. Okay, obviously your attempt to seduce this demon is a 6. Here we go.
It did not work.
Okay, take a point of stress and a point of determination. What did you roll, by the way?
I rolled a 2.
And
My
how many
stress level
points?
is a 2. So
Okay, all right. You very nearly
so it was
exploded.
equal. I was on top of that.
Okay. You
I very nearly exploded.
very nearly exploded
I did.
by just trying to persuade a demon to admire your behind. This could be the best game ever.
However, what I actually wandered in there to do was to destroy it with my art of hyperdimensional splendor. So,
Okay.
whilst failing to seduce the demon, I'll attempt instead to destroy it.
All right.
I'm assuming also a 6.
Also a 6. Yes, this is the climax, particularly because it's 8 o'clock and we need to be out fairly soon. This is the climax. This is a 6. Give me a battle roll. Remember, you have points of determination.
I got a 6, and I didn't even use my point of determination.
Okay.
There we go. The ass
Describe
that
how
never
you
rests.
describe how you destroy Berry Kilgour with your ancient weapon of power.
I was using my art of hyperdimensional.
Okay. Describe how you do
Splendor,
with
not-
that then.
So, I let out a gaseous fart because I said he needed to admire my ass. The gas envelops him and sucks him back in, and sends him to another dimension.
Okay.
Through your ass.
That's not normal. That's not normal.
I'm just going to check the rules, but it does definitely say that you describe what happens, so here we are. The female acolyte, who has a name, but no one's asked for it, stands there. She is staring, tears just pouring down her face as she looks at you and she says, "Well, that was not normal."
But it is normal that we come and destroy demons in odd places.
Not like that!
Oh, you gotta trust us. That's normal.
She opens the large version and points at the graph and points at the normal abnormal half and says, "Things have got to be in this half of the graph." I'm sorry, I thought we had a
Can I
future
do the
together,
same-
but you know,
Can I
despite
do the same as George did earlier and try and invert the graph? Again, back to Justin.
it's going to be a 6 again as you attempt to put everything back to normal using wizard.
I'm going to use my point of determination.
Okay.
Please explode.
It didn't go. No, I didn't explode from stress either, though.
Okay, take another point of stress.
I like to think that meanwhile, while this is happening, all of the zombie butterflies from the start of the game have gone around and started eating people's brains.
That sounds like a problem for another team of sexy battle wizards. She says, "I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to leave before you are judged." And she stands and sort of points towards the doorway.
Wow, that was brutal.
all right.
That's quite a public letdown, huh?
You slightly, just sort of in silence, all a bit awkwardly, make your way out of the temple. And
You're welcome.
you hear a giant portal, rimmed in glowing black, dark vortex to the center, opens up at the far end of the graveyard, and there's a pause, and you hear "Sorry," and it turns gold, with kind of red runes around the outside that spell out the word home.
Hector strides
Through
in.
the
As Hector strides in, you feel a bony arm wrap around your foot, and you are unable to move. As everybody else pops through the portal, you see a zombie woman crawling out of her grave, saying, and I think that is what we will call the end of our sexy battle of wizard adventure.
Oh my God.
The camera like defocuses and pans up into the sky.
Oh, so good.
The words "the end" are spelled out in the sky,
Finn.
and a zombie butterfly lands to form the eye.
I'm a favorite game.
That was great.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Nope, that's not what I do. That's what I do, followed by that. Well, if you have stuck it out this far, or if you've just joined us, thank you for joining us for our sexy battle wizard adventure. It is a silly game. So I have been Richard. This has been Aled. This has been Alex, also known as Adja, with the ass that will not quit. This has been
True.
Hector,
Always true.
also known as
Von
George.
Kurzweil.
Also known as George. This has been Charlie, who played Keith with a C. And this is Adam. It's all his fault. He played Keith with a K, but thinks he played Keith with a C. We have been the D20 Future Show. You have been watching. I hope you had a good time. If you didn't, don't watch us. This is what we're like. Sometimes. I'm going to say goodbye. Everybody wave.
Bye.